There was the fake
that was
the tweet about him getting thrown out of the game or whatever it was earlier this year. Yes, I do know. I'm feeling as angry. I was angry at 6 o'clock about the situation. I really thought that in so many ways Shedeur got a possible win ripped out from under him. I'm not as mad as I was. And I do fear that because I'm not as mad as I was, it doesn't hold the people accountable that need to be held accountable. This staff needs to be held accountable for what happened. The head coach is the head coach. He needs to be held accountable for this. Bubba Ventrone needs to be held accountable for this. Jim Schwartz, in the grand scheme of things, it's a bad game, but you know what? He's a defensive coordinator. He gave up way too many points for a team. They were averaging, just over 14 a game coming into it. He gave up a buttload of points.
That had short field because of the block punt and the fumble.
But that's, all three phases, complimentary football. I'm going to blame who needs to be blamed. But when it came to Shedeur, I thought that he kind of I think he got robbed of an opportunity to celebrate a victory. That said, in the grand scheme of things, when the quarterback plays well and you're a team that ain't going anywhere and that quarterback's a rookie, how red-faced mad can I possibly be? In the grand scheme. But I do feel a sense of responsibility going, hey, man, if you guys ain't going to call him out, me and you, if us on the air ain't going to call him out, who's going to end up calling him out?
Yeah, but we've done that.
I mean, I can go to phones and just let the callers do it, but...
I gotta be honest, Kenny. We've done the calling out. I don't. Yeah. Do we need to do it every single time, every single day?
No, but you say you're bored by it, but it's it still has to be said. Even though you're bored by it,
I'll just start out every show and say I thought Stefanski and Barry should have been fired last year. Let's move on.
But it's not even that. It's not even that. It's about accountability.
Do a disclaimer at the beginning of the broadcast day.
But it's still where. Okay, fine. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way.
I think people know where I've been on it.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
I mean, I was screaming for it at the end of last year. The shows were there.
I mean, the first guy I saw was on social media today calling me a bitch for defending him yesterday, and I'm going, last week, I didn't defend anybody last week. I don't be lying on the internet about me.
I meant it, and I stick by it.
Well, maybe it was you. That'd have been great. But I'm not defending him for losing to San Francisco. Did I defend him for losing to San Francisco?
No, I don't think you did. But
what is there to defend?
But I at the same token, I have to say that the outcome to me didn't matter yesterday. I mean, God, part of me was going, man, Jacksonville's winning again, and if we win this game, the draft, I'm always thinking about the draft now because this team on the field is, let's be honest, they're in position to lose a lot of games for a reason. And they are starting a bunch of rookies. Some of those rookies have been sensational this year. But you need so much more than that to win football games and to be credible, to actually contend. I mean, think about how hard it is now these days. How many wins you have to make the playoffs? What is in the AFC? Is it going to be 10? You have to get to 10. That is so far away from where the Browns
are.
7
away.
Right now. And that's with Mahomes and Burrow.
How many games you
and
got
Lamar
left?
Jackson potentially missing the playoffs as starting quarterbacks. 2 MVPs and a guy that's been to the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Think about how much more you need to do to try to get in position. So the outcome yesterday, I get it. There were people that were absolutely furious. But, the funny thing is, if they just have a lead in the fourth quarter, right? If he doesn't throw that interception, they just have a lead. They would have sat on it. They would have ran the football. And, the stat line would have looked okay. We would have had a win over Tennessee. But instead, you had all these theatrics getting back into the football game, people that were there that had been booing the team before, now they're back into it.
I don't know. Let me go back on that. I want to make sure I disagree on that.
Well, it was a 2-possession game.
It was 17-14. I don't think they would have just sat on it had he not thrown the pick.
I think they would have stayed running the football. Instead, they were throwing on every down. They would not have done that with a lead.
Okay, fine, but I don't think they would have just...
We would have called them stupid for doing that.
They would have ran the football a little bit, but it was less than one possession. You have to move the ball down the field. You have to try to make it a 2-possession game.
Sure,
it's 17-14 at the time. It's a 1-possession game. But they would not have done
what they did, which was throw on every down. You're not doing that with a lead.
Obviously, you're not. But you act like they would have just ran the ball ISO the entire game.
I think they would have been scared, petrified that a mistake would have cost them the game. Are you kidding me? This coaching staff.
Then why did they drop back and throw it to begin with? Then,
well, they didn't. They couldn't run the ball necessarily anyway.
So they would have just continued to throw, or they would. Wait a minute. So they would have just continued to run the ball when they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah,
you just told me they couldn't run the ball.
Believe it or not, teams act differently when they had the lead. Look at what Tennessee did once they got up 2 scores.
Listen, I know how you're trying to say
the ball. Hold on, they ran the. Tennessee literally said, "We're just running the football now and giving the ball back to the Browns." Teams operate differently with a lead.
And by the way, Mark Schlereth was critical of that in the broadcast.
I know. But that's how teams were afraid not to lose. That is what they do.
But you just contradicted yourself in the argument. Yes, you did.
I didn't at all.
You just said that they would continue to run the football when they didn't run the football. That's what got them into the mess to begin with.
No, when you have a lead, teams tend to run the football.
Except they had a lead and they threw the ball.
That's not very complicated.
They had a lead and they threw the ball.
Fourth quarter is very different. You're talking about what? Third quarter? Fourth quarter is very different. It was
right at the end of the third quarter. So the only difference was what? 30 seconds.
Big difference. Fourth quarter, you try to salt away a win. We've seen teams do that my whole life watching football. I know you've seen it too. So all I'm saying is, win or lose.
Well, I haven't seen it like you've seen it. I mean, I'm going to belabor this. I think it's silly, but go ahead. If
you want to bog it down, fine. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to give compliments to Shedeur Sanders, and Ken won't let me do it. He's getting in the way of it. All I'm saying is...
What do you mean it's a compliment that Shedeur Sanders?
Can I get through what I'm trying to say?
No, I'm not going to let you do it because I think it sounds silly. You're trying to say you're going to give compliments to Shedeur Sanders,
but you're saying when I'm allowed to talk.
But you said all they did was throw the football.
They did.
Because they had to.
Yes.
And then you said they would have just ran the football
which they would
because they were up by one possession, which is just a field goal. So how's that a compliment to Shedeur Sanders?
I don't think one thing has anything to do with the other.
You're saying they were desperate because you're saying they were desperate in one hand or they were going to take the ball out of his hands in another. How's that complimentary?
I think
help me.
I think teams that are ahead in the fourth quarter, trying to salt away a win, trusting their defense, would have handed the football off. That's typically what happens in this league.
That's complimentary.
So it's 2025. I didn't know this was your first year watching football, Kenny.
I mean, I understand you're trying to talk down, but I think you kind of got caught in a silly moment there. But that's okay.
Anyway, so let me get back to actually praising Shedeur Sanders. Is that he was just in such a rhythm. He was making so many big throws. That accuracy, in the comeback attempt, I think it did provide some juice. He kept taking hits. Something he's got to work on, honestly. He's got to get rid of the ball quicker because I think a lot of those hits came because he was holding on to the ball so long. So he's kind of inviting that. And one of my worries about him coming into the year was his frame. Not a lot of muscle, not one of the bigger guys. And he's not as short as Dillon Gabriel, obviously. But, I don't know that he can live with taking those kind of hits. But with that said, I was very impressed by his ability to do it, and he kept getting back up. He kept looking down the field. He was buying time, and it made for an exciting game, and now I can't wait to watch the next one. So that's a compliment. I mean, people have accused me of being like closed-minded. No, this is awesome. This makes these games exciting, watchable, and important, and now the competition steps up a notch because it's 3 teams that are trying to go to the playoffs.
Let me get to Freddie in Cleveland. Hello, Freddie.
Oh, man, it's Stefanski. Apologies, man. You guys crack me up, man. You guys keep moving the goalposts.
What show are you listening to?
What show are you listening to? The right show here.
I'm talking about the whole, pretty much the whole fan, 92.3, man. I'm not going to name names.
No, you're talking to our show.
Name names because you're wrong.
Well, all right, let's focus on you guys. Let's focus on you.
That's fine.
Yeah,
please.
What did we say about Kevin Stefanski today? I said I want him fired last year. So what are the goalposts that have been moved? Do you even know what that means?
Well,
I keep seeing people say moving the goalposts. Do you even know what that means?
Yeah, I do. I'm about to tell you right now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to get a word in. All right.
Go ahead. You've been wrong 3 times to start out the call, so go ahead.
Every week, you guys find a way. Somebody, I'm not going to say you guys.
Give me an example.
Do
you have an example?
I'm not going to. You wanted to talk about us, but now you're going to say I'm not going to say you guys.
I'm about to give it to you right now. He got to hold the ball longer. That's a no-brainer. He need an offensive line.
So you agree with me. So what's the next point?
So we can get some separation. So we can quit talking about that. He can't pass the ball right. He passed for 300-something yards.
Who said that?
Nobody said that.
This show didn't say that.
Man, I'm not.
You just called to argue with everybody that you're on the internet with. You didn't call to argue with us.
I'm not calling to argue with you. I'm just calling.
Guys,
that's going nowhere.
You got to have examples. Like he's just fighting the internet memes.
If you would like to fight with Ken and Anthony, which I fully support, I don't like them either, guys. I don't like them either.
Owen likes fighting with us.
So if you'd like to fight with them, actually come and fight with them, and don't say I'm not talking about you, but I would like to fight with you.
Man, I loved Shedeur yesterday. I still hate his fans. I can't stand him. I can't. You're not allowed to be critical of anything. He didn't do anything wrong yesterday. Like, we thought he was great. There are things to work on. He even said so.
You pointed it to the interception. That's kind of the point where you can look. But it wasn't just that. The fumble afterwards was Sampson, and then the block punt came after that as well, because after the interception, here are the Tennessee possessions. 2 plays, 38 yards, and a touchdown, right? Because the interception was returned pretty decently, and we can't play any sort of run defense at all, right? So then 6 plays, 20 yards, they punted. 3 plays, 8 yards, and a touchdown because we fumbled the ball away. They had a field goal for 4 plays for 6 yards. They had 3 plays, 0 yards. They had 3 plays, 0 yards. They didn't do anything after the interception offensively. They were just put in tremendous field position that they were allowed to score those points and win the game.
Yeah, I just looked. The interception was so costly because if he's driving, if he doesn't make the backbreaking mistake there, do they score in 2 plays? No. Even if we punt the ball, you're playing field position. You're making Cam have to go the distance.
I don't agree with you, but I agree with you in that sense, because when I look at what they did offensively, if we just don't give them the ball inside the 20 and inside and 38 yards away, right, they win the game, because they weren't doing anything on offense after that, other than they had gassed you running. Pollard had killed you running, but the special teams and the turnovers were the big killer.
Browns lost. Boo. Shedeur played well. Yay! Another blunder on special teams. Boo. Throw to the end zone to David Njoku. Yay!
David Njoku got injured. Boo.
Boo. Throw to the end zone. Harold Fannin. Yay!
2-point conversion.
Boo.
Another 2-point conversion.
It's the noise I make in my house.
All the Tennessee Titans using his watch celebration against him.
Boo.
But then him getting him back with that last touchdown, and then him using it.
Yay!
Boy, that thing's not going to die, is it?
No.
Are we going to get to the point where every player in the league is going to be using that against him, apparently?
Care. It's good that they care. It's not like Johnny Manziel. It's not like it's Johnny Manziel all over again.
All right, now, I did see some Browns fans. Now, I didn't write them down specifically, so I'm now doing the thing. I'm accusing some of the fans that called in, some of the Shedeur fans. I did see some people annoyed with Shedeur that he was celebrating when they were losing down to Tennessee. What did you make of that?
I was not upset.
So, Jerry Jeudy's celebration, what did you think of that when I thought for sure he was going to bobble the ball out of bounds in the back of the end zone for a touchback?
Wait a minute, say it again.
When Jerry Jeudy had a great throw, great catch, great run after the catch for the touchdown. Looked like vintage Jerry Jeudy. Looked like Thursday Night Football Jerry Jeudy against the Denver Broncos.
I was relieved. Because, and I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop with him. So, I mean, whatever.
I was waiting for the ball to drop. I knew he was going to do something. And I cannot believe Schlereth did not inject commentary about that.
On the backflip?
On the backflip.
He injected something in the pregame. He had something.
Whoa.
He had something in the pregame.
I missed it.
Wait a minute.
Reckless speculation.
You do not accuse him of using performance enhancers.
No. It ain't reckless.
He's injecting.
He put it in there. What did he say? He said he goes, if you can just lift 225 pounds, you're just good at bench press. If you just can run a 4.40, you're just Jerry Jeudy. And we're like, whoa. Me and Gerard went, oh, boy. All right. Thank you. Mark, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy your time in Cleveland. Good day to you.
What is that supposed to mean?
Listen, man, they don't get along. I send Christmas cards to people who I don't necessarily get along with. They don't get along with me. I would get along with them, but they don't get along with me. I still don't. And it's not like I'm not going to send them a Christmas card, though. But I don't think they're on each other's Christmas card lists. Okay?
No.
But it was, I imagine a 60-yard pitch and catch is pretty damn therapeutic. And then they lost. Because, well, the analytics say we got to do it. The analytics say that other teams should maybe do it. Should you do it? Should you do it? Just because they're on the NFL, I want you guys to think about this. Just because they're in the NFL, should you do it? Like, there's plenty of things that you should be able to do. You just ain't able to do them. So when the analytics say, well, they're not guarantees, you can't just go for one each time. Well, what do you got a better chance with? Do you have a better chance with an Andre Schmidt extra point? And I know how I sounded after week 1. I get that, guys. I know. Is there a better chance there's an Andre Schmidt extra point? Or is there a better chance that you end up trying to run a reverse and Gage Larvidan? I think he might have known where he was going, but maybe Quinshon Judkins didn't know where he was going. Either way, which one was the better one to do?
Judkins has to answer for that this week.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Does he not? I know we didn't spend a ton of time on it, but
is there a better chance, Andre? I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I got to get this in there real quick. Is it a better idea that maybe Andre Schmidt kicks the extra point, that he'll probably make the extra point, or you have Luke Whippler in there who's not Ethan Posick and they fumble the snap? I was wondering. Go right on ahead, Tone. What were you going to say?
It's a fair question. We were denied a couple things here. We were denied either a chance to see what he would have done on that play. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe they just would have had him hand the ball off. I don't know, but there's undoubtedly he was the hot hand. Like, there's no doubt. Nobody can dispute that. And sometimes you do have to tear up all the sheets and just have a feel. And, your head coach is on the sidelines supposedly not calling plays, but Daryl's telling me, but he kind of is calling plays because he has the final say on everything. But if he's got the final say every play, then he's just calling the plays again. So we got to get that cleaned up this week. We got to figure that out. But
every coach would have the final say on it, but like when Mike Pettin and Kyle Shanahan, remember the video of them talking on the sideline? He's like, you want to do that? And Kyle Shanahan's like staring at him. He's like, you know what? You're right. Call your best play.
Right.
That's a guy who's calling plays.
Right.
But if you just go in and go, I don't like that, we're going to do it this way. Well, then who's calling the plays around here?
But where is, and again, I've seen the play.
It's also week 15. Who gives a bleep
I've seen
anymore?
the play 100 times, and yes, if Judkins just does what he's told to do, I think it's a walk-in. I think we would have been praising the play design around most circles. But instead, it doesn't work. It's like Boise State runs a Statue of Liberty against Oklahoma, and it works. It's the most beautiful thing ever, the smartest thing ever. And then when it doesn't work, you have what happened today. With all that said, we were denied that opportunity, and we were denied how cool it would have been with him having the chance to either win the game in regulation or go to overtime and win the game. I mean, it was already a long game. My God, it was 3.5 hours. It was the last one going. We could have another half hour.
I think they ran out of commercials, by the way, because they did not. I mean, that whole fourth quarter,
they definitely did.
Yeah, they did not have a commercial break.
Why was that game so long?
I don't know, but
I kept turning the ball over.
I tried to go to the bathroom and I came back and I missed the first 2 plays of the Titans' last possession. I missed the
possession before Shedeur threw the last touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. The one where they punted before he threw. Yeah, I missed the first 2 plays of that. Yeah, I tried to go to the bathroom, couldn't do it.
Yeah, those were all 30-second breaks.
Terrible. 216-474-0092. Let's go to the phones. You ready? Ron in East Cleveland. You're next up on the Fan. Hello, Ron.
Oh, okay, Carmen, we're gonna play. Hey, what's going on, guys? Look. The only time you guys let a fan truly speak his mind is on Saturdays. Okay, now let's talk.
What does that mean?
Have I ever heard anything about Glenville winning? That's number 2. Number 3, I got 2 more after this.
Hold on. You didn't hear Live Lights today.
Yeah, because you don't listen.
Next thing
Kenny
went
on a soliloquy about learning more about football when he's on the sidelines.
That was at 7:45, Ron, so you're a liar. You just lied to us on the radio, and you lied to everybody else. That's a lie.
I haven't heard. That's not a lie.
Oh, so you say you hadn't heard.
I like that.
So for whatever reason, you say I don't respect Glenville, which isn't true.
I didn't say you didn't respect them.
Then what? You're saying that I didn't mention Glenville. Now all of a sudden, I didn't mention Glenville, so I disrespect Glenville, even though I did talk about Glenville, and I talked about Avon, and I talked about Kirtland.
Lying liars and the women that love them.
Please, 2 more points.
Okay.
Where's the diversity down there on the Fan? Y'all don't have it.
I can't answer to that. Is that why you're saying it on Saturdays?
Come and apply for a job.
So you are more than welcome to come apply for a job, Ron.
Like Jeff Phil's phone number. And
hold on, let me look it up.
Garfield 12323. Where did he go?
No!
He's writing it down. He's getting a pen.
He just called him. He just said, hello? You there, Phelps?
I'll have the switchboard operator patch you through.
Why did Ron hang up?
Trudy. Get on it.
He said Saturday's the only time you let the fan talk, and then he hung up on himself.
Guys, I swear we do want to talk sports with the people that call in.
Let's keep talking sports with the people who call in. Jake in West Palm Beach, Florida, listening on the free Odyssey app. You're next up on the Fan.
Man, what's going on? I called before. Would y'all guys believe that somebody that started 7 games is only ahead of somebody that's about to start his 4th game, 160 yards only?
Who?
Dillon is only ahead of Shedeur 160 yards.
Dillon is not a comparison at all for Shedeur Sanders anymore. That's done.
So this is what I want to ask you guys. What are the people that was biting, that was saying Dillon's the guy, the supercomputer, Tony? Why y'all don't hold these guys accountable, man?
Again,
honestly, I will say this.
It just depends on when you're listening here.
This show, we have been unified from moment one that we thought
this was not the
Dillon
right
Gabriel
pick.
was a waste of time.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like, it's still the people who were saying this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Dillon came in and hasn't done anything.
Call him out then. You have the floor, Jake. You don't need to call us out for what you didn't hear. Go ahead and say it.
Where's that lady? Her name is Adita.
Say them all.
Like
say them all.
She pissed me off the other week. She said the defense, I forgot her name, Adita? I don't know her name.
Aditi.
Okay, she said the defense just needs to play better. Really?
When did she say that? See, I didn't hear her say that. I wasn't listening at that time.
She said that, I think, the last start, Dillon's last start before.
Okay.
Dillon's last start before.
Well, no. Listen, I mean, there's no. Jake, I'll tell you this, and because I want to get to some more
Can
people.
I issue a plea? Just if you're going to call, argue with us about things we've said.
But
people are doing a very poor job.
But they're not. You can't say that because we're being accused of saying things we didn't say.
But here's my issue.
He said he didn't hear anything about the state champs. We talked about the state champs. Talked about state champs again, for crying out loud.
I think that Shedeur fans have got to get off the internet. Because you're arguing with people that are saying stupid things.
Okay, hold on. But Ron's been calling in for a long time. Ron is a Browns fan.
Every call we're getting is people that are going after stupid things that have been said by people on the internet. All right, there are people that think that the earth is flat. Are you going to call our show every day and argue with those people?
If you put the challenge out to somebody, there is a gym in Strongsville that we have to deal with who will do that.
And Kyrie never came on with us, so you can't even argue with him about it.
We had the chance, and then he stiffed us, you remember?
Right. We did get stiffed.
It was a nice event.
It was.
It was a nice event. We had that. Peyton in Akron, you're next up.
There are stupid things we've said. I advocated for Deshaun Watson. Come after me for that. Okay? That was stupid.
I only say smart things, so there's nothing you can come after me for. Peyton in Akron. Hello.
Hey, guys. I'm a big Shedeur fan. I'm not calling to argue at all. But I do have a question. Would you guys say that he showed enough for us to not use our next year's draft pick on another quarterback?
Not yet.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I was just curious on what you guys' thoughts on that were. But, yeah, I'm not here to argue or anything. I'm a Shedeur guy. Mm-hmm. Loved him in college. I don't think he showed enough for us to not use our draft pick, but I think he's on his way to get there.
Be excited.
He's just got to show a lot more improvement.
Please be excited, because I tell you what, because he played Tennessee, that's a team of pros. And thank you for the call, Peyton. I'm going to give him credit for beating a team of pros. Now you're playing a better team of pros coming up on Sunday against Chicago. It elevates.
The next 3 weeks.
The next 4 games. And it doesn't have to be wins. It doesn't have to be wins. We could be looking at this thing as a reset. He could be our Cam Ward. I don't think they have plans on getting rid of Cam Ward down in Tennessee. He could end up being our Cam Ward. So we have to separate preconceived notions here. I'm done calling him a 5th-round pick. That ain't no 5th-round pick playing. That's it. So we got to get rid of preconceived notions. We have to get rid of the preconceived notions on the Dillon Gabriel stuff. There ain't no comparison anymore. That was a silly decision to begin with. Even if you were never taking Shedeur Sanders. I don't know why you did what you did, but that's what they did. In the top 100, I would much rather have probably another wide receiver that wouldn't work out because Andrew Berry can't pick him for the most part. But, I mean, not even for the most part. He just can't pick him. But I would rather take a flyer on another wide receiver than that. Because there's a lot of things, if you go back in the past, like if it's not even a Browns fan I'm talking to, if it's just a Shedeur fan, quote unquote, there's so many things in the past that, yeah, there's a litany of stuff that's just 4 quarterbacks. Why? More reps for Dillon Gabriel. Why? Wide receivers that you could have picked that you didn't pick because you want. Why? Like, why did you do any of these things? Why didn't you get Shedeur Sanders ready for the season or give it a fair chance or anything? Why didn't you start him earlier? Why did you start Dillon Gabriel over? Is this a supercomputer thing? Is it any? Like, there's so many questions that we have to answer. Because the reason I like Shedeur Sanders is exactly the reason he's showing. There's just a higher ceiling here so far. The other guy doesn't have a ceiling nearly as high. Shedeur Sanders, say what you want to about Tennessee. They got back within reason. They had a chance. He can push the ball down the field. He can do things. He's growing into a position that makes him better, that I think that, I want to see the next game and the next game after that. Because you can tell, guys, go back and watch the game against Vegas. Go back and watch the game against the Ravens and then watch this game again. See the things he's already doing differently. He's already doing things differently. And if there's more tape, maybe he'll get brought to justice. I hope not, though, because it seems that there's gold there. So I can't, as mad as I am at the special teams and as mad as I am at some of the decision-making, if I got a quarterback I think we can work with, great. But I also have to understand what this team is when they feel about quarterbacks and how obsessed they are with quarterbacks. And I'm excited about Shedeur Sanders. You ain't out of the woods yet when it comes to the excitement over him. But I'm sure that we will have our chances to have this conversation later on.